Google's latest Android show made one thing clear. The company is preparing one of its biggest moves yet in the AI industry. During the event, Google unveiled a major update not only for Android smartphones, but also for smartwatches, cars, and even laptops. Everything now revolves around artificial intelligence, of course.
And I'm excited to introduce Gemini Intelligence.
And this time, Google has some serious arguments to make. For some time now, Gemini has been gaining serious momentum in the industry. Remember how disastrous Google's AI overviews used to be, telling users to put glue on pizza or even to eat rocks? We are very far from that today. Now, Google Gemini can stand shoulder to shoulder with major models like Claude and ChatGPT. And today, Google is everywhere. Image generation with Nano Banana, video with VO, and even coding using Gemini. Now, Google wants to integrate all that deeply into Android.
Material Expressive is now infused with Gemini Intelligence.
In concrete terms, Gemini is going to be present almost everywhere on your smartphone, even inside your chats. Let's say you're planning to go to a restaurant with someone. Gemini will be able to suggest replies or even take actions for you. Make the reservation, add the date directly to your calendar, or even send the invitation to the person you're talking to. Google describes this as handling all the logistics for you. The craziest part is that Gemini will be able to carry out all these actions, the booking, the calendar entry, and so on, in a single action, without needing to be guided step by step. Of course, that kind of deep integration into the system will raise serious privacy questions. But it also means Gemini inside Android can go much further than a simple prompt. You'll be able to give Gemini complex instructions and it will carry them out directly through the system. Basically, what Rabbit tried to do with the R1. Google has also integrated Gemini into features that have existed for a very long time, but never worked that well before. Take form autofill, for example. You're on a website, you want to create an account, and the site asks for your email address, a password, your first name, your last name, and so on. Usually, when you ask your browser to automatically fill out a form, it will manage to place a few pieces of information correctly. But some parts of the form may have been poorly labeled by the site's developer or may not use the same names as the data stored in your browser. Gemini, with its powerful language model, can read the form, understand the context of each field, and fill it out correctly. And when we say Google has serious arguments for talking about a major revolution, possibly even bigger than OpenAI's with ChatGPT, it's because Google can rely on an ecosystem that is already deeply established, and above all, on a massive range of devices. Of course, when we talk about an Android update, we usually think first of a smartphone update. But today, Android is much broader than that. Google didn't just present a Gemini integration for smartphones. It also integrated Gemini into our vehicles through Android Auto and Android Automotive. In other words, your car will now be able to listen to you and respond to your requests.
I can ask Gemini, order my usual tacos on DoorDash for pickup, but double it. And my favorite dinner will be ready when we arrive.
And this matters because Google claims that there are already more than 250 million cars on the road that are compatible with Android Auto. We've seen cars, we've seen smartphones, but of course, there are also smartwatches and Android XR, which Google is expected to present very soon. But there is one sector where Google has never really managed to impose itself: laptops. While Windows has not exactly had a smooth run since the launch of Windows 11, Apple has been doing extremely well with the arrival of the MacBook Neo and the M5 chip in the MacBook Pro. But now, Google has made a major announcement. Forget Chromebooks for a moment, make way for Google Books. Just like Chromebooks, they will be manufactured by several brands, but they will come with this new glow bar, so you immediately know it's a Google Book. And instead of simply running Chrome OS like traditional Chromebooks, Google Books will run a new system that brings together Android and Chrome OS, reportedly codenamed Aluminium OS, with the same deep Gemini integration that is coming to Android phones. In fact, Google is now moving away from the term operating system. Instead, it talks about an intelligent system.
We're transforming Android from an operating system into an intelligence system.
An intelligence system.
Intelligence
system.
And that tells you something important. At Google, this really is being framed as a revolution. We still don't have that much information about these Google Books, but we do know they are expected to arrive this fall and that Google is already working with major partners like ASUS, Lenovo, HP, Acer, and Dell. We also know that Intel will be one of the partners at launch along with Qualcomm and MediaTek, which means Google Books should not be limited to Intel chips and could also include ARM-based models. This will be a more premium kind of laptop, probably positioned against Apple's MacBook Neo and, above all, packed with AI. Because the whole point of the Google Book is not just to be another laptop. It is supposed to be a laptop designed from the ground up around Gemini intelligence. Speaking of AI on Google Books, Google highlighted two key features. The first is the magic pointer. At any moment, you'll be able to shake the cursor to call up Gemini, and it will understand the context in order to suggest concrete actions.
Check this out. Point at a date in this email. I can set up some time with my friends, draft a reply, or find good spots to meet up.
Let's say you select several images, one in your browser, one in your file explorer, and another in your photo gallery. Gemini could then suggest, using Nano Banana, combining those three images into a single AI-generated image built from all three of those original elements. The other new feature Google is betting on with Google Books is the creation of custom widgets generated entirely by Gemini. Widgets used to be one of the big features that separated Android from iOS, until Apple eventually copied the idea. And now, Google wants to reinvent widgets. Widgets are extremely useful, but until now, users have mostly been limited to whatever developers were willing to offer. Google wants to solve that problem for good. You'll be able to create your own widgets yourself. For example, you could ask Gemini to create a widget to track an upcoming family trip. And in a single window, you would have your upcoming flights, restaurant plans, hotel reservations, and so on. Also, since these PCs run a tweaked version of Android, they probably won't be used for traditional high-end PC tasks like serious gaming or professional video editing. That raises another question. What happens to Chromebooks? Google says Chromebooks will continue to receive updates for years to come. But let's be honest, we know Google. We know how easily the company can let projects it no longer cares about quietly fade into oblivion. Here, Chromebooks start to feel redundant, which means they are clearly entering their final stretch. In any case, between the integration of Gemini into our smartphones, our vehicles, and our laptops, Google is preparing a serious masterstroke. And this is especially dangerous for Apple's already hugely popular ecosystem because Apple is still struggling to adapt to the AI era. Right now, Google is one of the only companies in the industry that actually has all the pieces needed to create a real AI revolution. It has the device ecosystem thanks to Android. It has the services ecosystem thanks to Google Search, Google Maps, and Google Workspace. And it has one of the most powerful models in the industry with Gemini. Again, that is an asset both Apple and Microsoft have struggled to fully harness, despite having their own platforms. Siri is now expected to be powered in part by Gemini, and Microsoft Copilot is still deeply tied to OpenAI's models. But the difference is that Copilot never really became the cultural moment Microsoft wanted it to be. And beyond that, Microsoft has failed on several crucial fronts. Apart from Microsoft 365, its consumer services are still widely disliked. Yes, Microsoft has Xbox, but it completely failed in smartphones. And today, the smartphone is the key device in everyone's pocket, the one you need if you want to install a new service into people's daily lives. OpenAI and Anthropic may be leading the AI industry today, but they may never have Gemini's level of integration because they do not control an ecosystem like Android or Apple. They're still mostly an app you download from the App Store or the Play Store, not the operating system itself. And that is the difference. Anyway, Google's announcement is genuinely exciting, and we'll know more about its plans in the next few days. For now, we hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.